Hello and welcome Machinist Union members and our allies in the labor movement. This is your weekly 141 report, and I'm your host, Dave Lehive, a communications representative for District Lodge 141. Our report topic this week is about District 141's new Hawaiian Airlines Safety Director, Ku'ulei McGuire. We'll be talking with her about her important role as she looks out for IAM members at her carrier. Join us as we discuss this and other information as our 141 report starts now. Aloha, Sister Ku'ulei. Mahalo, and thank you for taking the time to join me on today's 141 report.
Aloha, Dave.
Nice to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's been a long time.
Yes, it has been. So, Sister, this is your first time on our 141 report. So before I start out, the general interview, can you please start off by telling the viewers a little bit about yourself? So when did you start in the airlines? What type of work do you perform? When did you get involved in the union, and what positions have you held leading up to your current position with the machinists?
Wow. Okay. So I started with Hawaiian Airlines back in 2005 as a repair inventory analyst. I got involved with the union as a shop steward around 2011 when the company was trying to outsource our department. After being a shop steward, I got selected to be on the negotiation team. And after ratification in 2016, I was elected to the local committee chair position and held that position for 2 terms, 6 years. And now I am the new safety director for Hawaiian Airlines.
So, Sister, first off, let me tell you how happy I am to see that you're serving as the new 141 safety director at Hawaiian Airlines. President Clem appointed you late last year after the unfortunate and untimely loss of our brother, Kalana Pakeli. I know you and him worked closely together for the membership, and we all still are saddened by his loss. So, thank you for what you're doing.
We miss Kalana. His personality was infectious, and that's very hard to replace.
Yeah, he was a great brother, and I truly miss him. So, Sister Ku'ulei, how many members are you looking out for as the new safety director at Hawaiian Airlines?
Currently, we have around 1,500. Prior to COVID, we were upwards of 2,000. So we're looking to be at that point again as Hawaiian Airlines backfills our vacant positions.
Okay. And you guys have 2 different operations, really. You got the Hawaiian Islands operation, and then you got the mainland operation. How many cities does Hawaiian Airlines encompass for IAM members?
Well, starting with the islands in Hawaii, we represent 4, and that's Oahu, Kauai, Maui, and the Big Island, which have Hilo and Kona stations. And then we support 10 other cities.
Okay, that would be over on the mainland?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So up and down the West Coast primarily, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then you would travel to the mainland to look after concerns and issues that may arise time to time. You don't just stay in the Hawaiian Islands, right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So over in the mainland, we don't have ramp service, but we've got passenger service. So there would primarily be passenger service issues that would be on the mainland?
Yes. And in some stations, we also have supply agents.
Supply. Okay. All right. That would be like storekeepers. Would that?
Correct.
Okay. Great. So last week I was talking to American Airlines about the GSAP program. I understand Hawaiian doesn't have a GSAP program, but they have something called a GSIP program. So what exactly is the difference?
Correct. We do have the GSIP program. The difference is having an FAA investigator as a voting member of the ERC committee. So we're hopeful, we're very close to having that LOA signed. And hopefully it's going to be within the next 2 months, but we're certainly working on it. We've had the FAA inspector part of about the last 3 ERC meetings that we had prior to the holidays. So we're eagerly awaiting her return. It's an invaluable asset to have on that committee while determining the resolutions to these GSIPs.
Yeah, it is a phenomenal program. I know that our brother, Bill Salo over at United Airlines, he helped extensively to help, and Eric Stenberg as well too, helped American Airlines, IAM members get the program going. It started out at US Airways and eventually merged over to American, brought the TW in with the association. The 2 members that we had on last week, they find this program valuable, the GSAP program, and it will be instrumental if we could get that program running at Hawaiian Airlines, get a GSAP program. And so I wish you the very best of luck getting that program up and running at Hawaiian Airlines. So good stuff.
Thank you. Yes, yep. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. Do you work with a team of safety stewards around the system? Who do you work with when you have issues concerning safety?
Well, currently, I heavily rely on our membership and our shop stewards to bring forth the safety issues. We're currently putting together a safety committee. We do have some shop stewards that have transitioned over to safety, but we're not fully staffed yet. That's one of my main goals, is to get that committee up and going, along with the LOA for the FAA to be part of the program and have it transition from GSIP to GSAP. So those are my 2 issues that we're working on currently.
Okay. So I currently understand you've been fairly busy with the membership because the announcement was made not too long ago that we have a tentative agreement at Hawaiian Airlines. First off, how's that going, and when do the members plan on voting?
It's going well. We plan to ratify on the 16th of this month. We've been doing a roadshow within the islands. We have some of our negotiating committee officers out in the mainland stations right now, answering all of the questions, and it looks good. There's a lot of positives that come with this new agreement, and I'm very excited for our membership to get back to having normalcy, and for them to get their heavily anticipated wage increases that they've been waiting for. Yeah.
That's from what I have seen, it is a very good contract. So some really good, some good stuff in that contract for you all. So how often do you talk to other safety directors at the other 141 airlines?
Well, we talk as much as we can. We'd hope that it would be more, but with the current state of our industry with COVID and the manpower shortages, which has all of us busy with an increase in safety issues, it's been fairly difficult. However, I just spoke with Eric and Bill Salo yesterday about the GSIP moving to GSAP and having them come out to Hawaii for a possible visit soon. So I'm excited about that. But I have to tell you that Eric, Bill, Tony D are such a great support system for me transitioning into this new position. I just rely heavily on their advisement, and I couldn't be more thankful to have such a good team.
Yeah, they're great guys. Very, very hardworking, and really care about the safety programs. They want every member to come into work and leave the way that they came in. Healthy, safe, and alive. Right. So So let me ask you, what's your personal goal at Hawaiian Airlines as you take on this important position?
You just said it, Dave, is for our members to come to work and be able to go home um, fully whole. We've been having so many accidents. Um, we have very low staffing right now, and it's just a very sad state that we're in, where our members are feeling they have to rush and cut corners. And we've been having some really heavy, serious accidents happening, and that has to stop. So one is to really have them understand that they don't have to cut those corners, right? If they see an issue, if they have been a part of the issue, to please report it, right? That's what we have this process for. And to understand that we are short, right? And the company understands that sometimes that flight isn't going to go out on time. It does not mean we want you to put yourself at risk. So I'm hopeful that once we can get out there more after this ratification, we can get them to understand that we need them to go home to their families safe.
Yeah. As a safety director, you have a leadership role, and you can't do this by yourself. Every IAM member that goes in that door should be a safety advocate. They should be looking out. If I went into work and you were working with me, I would be looking after you. And if you were working with me, you'd be looking after me. And if we all do that and work together, it's going to be a much safer environment. So, as Hawaiian Airlines members are out there, I'm sure that you need help in getting advocates out there. What would be something they could do? Is there a number that they can reach at, or, what would be the best way to reach out to you?
Yes, my number is posted in all of the break rooms, and they do call. We really suggest that they get to know the GSIP process and file those GSIPs so that we can review them as a committee. And it's just about education, right? We need to get out there and educate them on how to use the process to help themselves.
Okay, great stuff. Before I close out the report, do you have anything that maybe you want to mention about the union or the people that you work with?
Basically, I just want to I'm so thankful to be in this position. It's such a gratifying position to be in. And I thank, again, our team, Eric, Bill, Tony D. Again, they are such great mentors. And of course, thank you to Mike Clem, who gave me this opportunity and allowed me to work with this fabulous group. I mean, we have advocates from American and United who have also been there, so supportive to help me transition into this new role. And I just want to say mahalo, guys. I rely very heavily on you, and I thank you very much for all of your help.
Well, thank you, sister, for your in-depth report to talk about safety today and the work that you do. I appreciate you taking the time for coming on today.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, this wraps up another 141 report. But before we close, we want to inform our 141 members about the 2022 141 Scholarship Contest that has begun. So if you have yourself or your children are in need of scholarship money, get an application submitted with an essay. Information can be found on IAM141.org's website. This concludes today's report. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and healthy. Bye for now.